CJ Entus versus Hite SPARKYZ, second best of 7 series, set 4. Let the mirror match fest continue. Skyhigh versus Leta on Shades of Twilight. It's our 4th mirror match in a row, and we're going to have a 5th after this with Yarnak versus Quanro. But yeah, in spite of all of these mirror matches, the games have been pretty exciting so far, as has the psychological warfare back and forth. Yesterday we saw these two players engage in a bit of it. That's Leta on the left for the SPARKYZ and Skyhigh on the right for CJ Entus. Like I said, they're both Terrans. If you got yesterday's game between these two players, Skyhigh won and planted a Manor Command Center at Leta's base, really shattering his confidence, or at least rubbing his face in defeat. And when Movie and Leta faced each other in the ace match and Movie won, Leta looked crushed. So it's going to be really interesting to see how Leta bounces back from this today. He's had a chance to sleep on it, and let's see how he does, because the SPARKYZ have always pinned a lot of hope on Leta in their Proleague matches, and this situation is no different. Let's see, we're getting ready to start. 4, 3, 2, 1, and off we go. Hite's leading this this best of 7 series 2-1 right now, and let's see who's who. Leta is in green and Skyhigh is in white. Leta is at the 10 o'clock position, and Skyhigh is at the 7. Yeah, and these two played yesterday on this same map, so Skyhigh had Leta's number then, and it'll be interesting to see if he does again. Leta did some kind of weird things in that game, going for things like Goliath drops, which you know, they have the potential of working, but they just didn't work out for Leta in that particular instance. Skyhigh and Leta have met 3 times before, and Skyhigh has actually won all 3 of those games. So it will be interesting to see if Skyhigh can continue to have Leta's number. It would be kind of like, you know, there are a number of players who have had other players' numbers. Savior, for example, is 6-0 career against I Love OOV, and so, or I Love OOV, I'm still kind of not sure how to pronounce it, and since I'm live casting Heritage League tomorrow, I had better figure that out, even though OOV unfortunately is injured and his match is likely to be postponed, which is, you know, too bad. We'd love to see him playing in the Heritage League, and get well soon, OOV, which is how I'm going to pronounce your handle for now. Depot is going up for both players in the respective bases. A barracks for Leta, and get a look at Skyhigh's base quickly. Don't know if there's going to be a 14cc or some such madness. Who knows? This has been so wild and unpredictable. Even the Terran versus Terran games in this series have been completely crazy, and that's great, because it's a matchup that can be very long, very technical, and depending on who's playing and how they are, very boring to watch, and these games haven't been. They've also been short, which has made it easy for me to commentate. I've been single casting all of these games, as you well know, and yeah, if a lot of these games were much longer, I would really have a difficult time with just getting all the casting done, and yeah, just filling all of the time in these videos. Long games are hard to do. Oh wow, there's the guy being quicker to hide his face there for a change, and more persistent about it. I wonder what he's doing that he needs to hide, if he's skipping school, or is grounded, or what. There's that first factory going down, and one of the gas mining SCVs being pulled to build that. I don't know if that's actually standard or abnormal or inconsequential, but when I play anyway, I usually pull one of my mineral mining SCVs in order to maximize my early game gas. Leta is still mining gas with 2 SCVs, whereas Skyhigh only is with 1. So I would suspect a slightly faster command center for him, and Leta is going for the second factory. So I think we're already starting to see some shades of the previous game. Though, let's see. Yeah, so 2 factory for Leta, and 1 factory into probable expand, but we haven't seen it go down yet for Skyhigh. There it is. Okay, so FAC expand for Skyhigh, 2 FAC for Leta. This is the same. This is the same way the last match between Iris and Gogo went. So let's see if we have the same result. There is that first vulture arriving just in time to deny that scout, and that's very important. That white fellow, both recognizing the importance of keeping that 2 factory hidden, very odd by Leta's play, and making a show of himself on camera as well. There we go. Floating Barracks is going to spot that command center. I think that went directly to the natural to look just for that. And first machine shot before Leta going down. We'll see if he adds a second. And in fact, Leta's command center is not even all that far behind, which, considering he sunk the extra 200 minerals into a factory, is pretty impressive. Alright, it's maybe 40 seconds to a minute behind, but that's not such a terrible economic disadvantage at all. So, yeah, I'm inclined to favor Leta slightly at this point, in spite of the slightly better economy for Skyhigh. Leta's early units should stand him in good stead, and Skyhigh is getting his second factory up, so actually, if anyone can be said to have an advantage here, it's really very slight. I would say the game is probably still pretty even. Skyhigh's command center probably just completed, and Leta's now just about to. And now Leta is moving out with a group of 4 vultures. No speed yet, possibly mines, but we'll only find out later. And Skyhigh doing something smart here, getting the academy before he even sees the mines. He does have reason to suspect the vultures, and oh, Skyhigh sneaking a couple of vultures of his own into Leta's natural. Leta has got the forces on hand to clean this up, but Skyhigh is at least going to scout that 3rd factory going up and be able to respond accordingly. So those vultures more useful as scouts than economic harassers there. And Skyhigh is going to the higher tech units. He's got the tanks and Goliaths on the way out. And meanwhile, what is going on at that machine shop there? That upgrade could be any of them, though probably not Charon boosters at this stage in the game. There's the 3rd and 4th factories going down for Skyhigh, so he's looking to maintain his production advantage as well as maintain the high-tech units. It's a lot of vultures for Leta, so it's probably going to be speed or mines. And I can't tell if speed just kicked in at the end of that jump cut over to Skyhigh's base. We'll see. No, those are still slow vultures. And the spider mines are out, and one of these Goliaths nearly dying to that. Mines do 125 points of damage. Goliaths have 125 hit points and 1 point of armor, so those mines should have knocked that Goliath down to 1 hit point. Another one also took half the damage and is at 64. More mines going up all over the periphery of Leta's base there, and Leta, having lost a barracks, the floating barracks, is rebuilding it so that he can put up some more factories. Skyhigh, in spite of having the higher tech units and the Comsat station, is kind of slow to push out here because he does only have the two Comsats, and there are a lot of places to lay mines, which Leta is doing. So this push is going to be delayed, and that's enough vultures to probably take out a good chunk of these units on their own. And Leta is mining up that high ground, so Skyhigh stymied for now. On the other hand, Skyhigh isn't going to be stymied forever here, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens. Vulture raid, Skyhigh is in the mineral line, and he's caught Leta's forces out of position here. He's going to take out a number of SCVs. He's got probably about 6 so far, and he's split his vulture forces between the natural and the main, and even had his vultures positioned on the ramp to do some blocking there. That's finally cleaned up. That was definitely definitely worth it economically for Skyhigh there. Now I would be inclined to say that he's taken the slight advantage in this game.